The world's a dangerous place. Get the industry's original and most trusted laser sighting system from Crimson Trace. A laser and light systems will enhance your effectiveness and help keep you and your family out of harm's way.
Lock and load. It's time to load up on some intellectual ammunition with Tom Gresham's Gun Talk. It doesn't matter if you learn to shoot with Daniel Boone or you're brand new. You're welcome here. This is the original national talk show about guns, and Tom Gresham is your guide through the maze of ballistics and politics. So grab your phone and call in right now, 866-825-5486, or just dial 1-TOM-TALK-GUN. Now, here's Tom. Today on Gun Talk, former U.S. Navy SEAL and author of SEAL Survival Guide, Cade Courtney is here to tell us about his new Sportsman Channel show, America Unplugged, featuring 8 people who are living off the grid. Plus, John Bushey, training officer for the Hudson Mohawk Young Marines in Albany, on teaching our youth safe, responsible, and ethical behavior with firearms. All that and details on how not to miss out on our summer scope giveaway. Call now to speak with Tom. 1-TOM-TALK-GUN. Now, here's Tom.
All right, we are going to be talking about guns today. A whole bunch. Ammo also, scopes, optics, gun safes. I don't care what it is. If it's about guns, if it has anything to do with guns and shooting and ammo, we'll talk about it here. Also about, of course, shooting, getting involved with shooting. If you're brand new to it, we can help you out. If you're thinking about buying a gun, we can help you out. If you're wondering what should be your next gun, I can help you out for sure. By the way, I'm Tom Gresham. I am your host here. Glad that you could join us. If you'd like to join us, it's very easy. Just dial us 866-825-5486. Easier if you just dial 1 and then Tom Talk Gun. Get you in here. Email tom@guntalk.com. Starting to get some emails already. You're welcome to join us. If you have a comment, a thought, or you think, whoa, Tom screwed that one up, send me an email. Hey, I'll tell on myself. It's not a problem. Wouldn't be the first time. It's sure going to be the last time. My email is tom@guntalk.com. And it is the last week for you to enter for a chance to win the Trijicon giveaway. We're giving away an ACOG, one of the great optics from Trijicon, a 3.5 by 35 ACOG with a dual illuminated red horseshoe 223 ballistic reticle. And it comes with the mount also. All you have to do is go to guntalk.com/win, W-I-N, and you can enter for a chance to win that. Right out of the news here. Whoa, this is great. Jackson, Mississippi. A man with a gunshot wound was reported Friday morning. You got to listen to this one, okay? Guy comes up to another fella, pretends he wants to bum a cigarette from him, and the guest, the man who is the good guy, said, I don't have any cigarettes. The other fellow started walking away, and then he turned around and said, I bet you don't have one of these, pointing his gun in the direction of what turned out to be a concealed carry holder. At which point, the fellow who the bad guy thought didn't have one of those, in fact, did have one of those. He pulled out his own, and he shot this guy. So you got this moron who points a gun at him and says, bet you don't have one of these, and the response is, bang, yes, I do. Always carry. You don't know where the crazies are. You don't know when it's going to come. You don't know where it's going to come from. Now, one of the things that we talk about a lot here is obviously safety and responsibility, but also getting involved. We've come up with a number of different ways to describe it. I came up with what I call the no shrug policy. We're not just going to shrug and say, oh, that's just the way it is. I can't do anything about it. Even if you get involved on a one-on-one basis, helping one person get involved in shooting sports, helping one person learn about gun safety, that's a good thing. But a lot of people get a good bit more involved in it. I recently got an email from a Gun Talk listener. And he started telling me the story of what he had done. I said, we got to talk about that on the radio. So at this point, I'm going to bring him on. John Bushey is the training officer for the Hudson Mohawk Young Marines. Hey, John, how are you?
Hey, Tom. I'm good, thank you.
Well, look, this was, I loved it when I got this email from you because you basically said, hey, I want to stand up and do this. So I started working on this idea, and tell us the history of how you found out about the Hudson Mohawk Young Marines and how you brought shooting into that program.
Well, you see, I had known that the Young Marines had existed. I remember as a youngster seeing them marching in parades up here in Albany and such. And I have a 14-year-old son that was looking. I had mentioned it to him, and so he expressed an interest. So, we went out to the internet and we found that there was a unit in the area. So he ended up joining, and as a former Marine, I just thought I would like to get involved as well. And
so what is the Young Marines program?
Well, the Young Marines program is a youth development organization, and it's for boys and girls from the ages of 8 through the completion of high school. Mm-hmm. There was a wide range of activities for the kids, but a big focus of the program is on leadership development, character development, community service, patriotism, and that kind of thing. And I think what sets us apart from a lot of the other youth development organizations is we have what's called a drug demand resistance program, which is, it's a lot like the DARE program that they teach in the schools. And it's an ongoing effort on our part to keep our kids off of drugs, alcohol, and tobacco. Okay.
So you 14-year-old, and he wants to get into this. You get involved with it. What do you discover when you get started with the local group?
Well, the Young Marine organization does allow for each individual unit to start up a marksmanship program. So, we had kicked around the idea, and everybody liked it. And I kind of believe that a lot of what a person can get or take away from being involved in the shooting sports is right in line with a lot of our program mission. The self-confidence, the discipline, responsibility, and that kind of a thing, which I think very often will be carried over into other areas of the child's life.
Mm-hmm. I agree. So, all right, you think you're talking to your buddies, you say, hey, we could do a marksmanship program. Mm-hmm. So then you say, okay, well, what's that going to take, and where's the funding going to come from, and how are we going to get guns, and how does this all work? So who'd you go to?
Well, one of the other Marines in the unit had mentioned that the NRA offers grants for organizations such as ours for the promotion of the shooting sports and to help develop individual organizations and their shooting programs. So I looked into that, and I had applied for the grant. The NRA makes it incredibly simple. Everything is done online. And probably less than a year later, we were in possession of several .22 caliber rifles, ammo, a nice storage safe, some safety gear, all at no cost to our unit.
So this would be the same NRA that everybody says is all they want is death and destruction and murder on the streets, and they want to arm everybody, but here they are making firearms and ammo and gun safes available for gun safety and marksmanship training for youngsters. I love it.
That is correct.
Okay, so what do you have now? How's the program going? Tell me about it. How many kids are involved?
Well, we've got 10 kids in our unit so far, and we had our first range day back in early June, and it was a great success. The kids had a really good time. They demonstrated, responsibility and safety with the firearms, while on a firing range. And, you can teach this over and over, but it's not until you actually do that you really learn. And I was very impressed with the safety that they demonstrated, and, in fact, their scores themselves were just incredible, and a lot of them had never shot before, and they were producing some really nice tight groups. So I was very proud of them, and everybody had a good time, and they're constantly asking me, when are we going shooting again? And so we're planning on trying to get them out sometime soon.
That is fantastic. So I just have to send you a really big Gun Talk attaboy on this. I'm kind of hearing from you that you're getting about as much out of this as the youngsters are, though.
Tom, I really am, and it's not just me. This is not just an individual effort. All the other registered adults in the unit have worked just as hard as I have. I don't know why I've been the one to kind of get the blame for it, but everybody's working real hard, and everybody's getting a lot out of it. It's very satisfying when you can teach somebody what you've learned and that sort of a thing.
I guess I would ask you, you're obviously, I know how successful it is for you. It sounds as though, I know there was a lot involved, but there aren't any real big barriers. If you just say, I'm going to do this, and you start making the effort, I guess what I would like to find out is, can anybody do this kind of thing anywhere in the country?
I see no reason why they couldn't. If they wanted to start up a marksmanship program, all they got to do is go onto the NRA Foundation website, and as I said, there's a link for applying for a grant, and that they make it incredibly simple. And there are certain documents that they want you to see. If you're a 501c3, you've got to produce that letter, your W-9, and that kind of a thing.
Sure.
But, yeah, there's no reason why any organization couldn't do this, whether that be the Boy Scouts or the Young Marines.
That is terrific. Man, I just, attaboy again, John. Great job. Keep it up, and keep us posted on the progress of the whole unit, would you?
I definitely will, Tom.
All righty, Lester, you take care. Well done. Outstanding. All right, 866-TALK-GUN, 866-TALK-GUN. You ever thought about doing something like that? Maybe get together locally and say, we could have a program like that here. Why wouldn't we do that? I guess that's my question for you, is why wouldn't you do that? And if you have done it, by all means, give us a report. I'd love to know how it went. All right, we're looking for your range reports, guns you've taken out, guns you like, the guns you hate, the guns you wish you'd never gotten rid of. Boy, I got a few of those. 866-TALK-GUN.
Hi, this is Doug Koenig, professional shooter and winner of over 60 national and world championships. If you shoot an AR, you need to be running the new Sharps Reliabolt. This bolt is amazing. The Reliabolt was fired 7,500 consecutive times by an independent test facility, jam-free. If you need the peace of mind and safety of not worrying about a jam, then buy the Sharps Reliabolt. Sharps Reliabolt is available at srcarms.com and tell them Doug sent you.
The world can be a dangerous place. Gear up with the industry's original and most trusted laser sighting system from Crimson Trace. Equipping your firearm with laser and light systems will enhance your effectiveness and help keep you and your family out of harm's way. Call 800-442-2406 or visit crimsontrace.com and receive a free copy of our new laser training video, The Laser's Edge. Crimson Trace.
No matter what gun you have, you want it to hit harder, shoot faster and flatter, and be more accurate. You get all that with the ammunition from Double Tap. Double Tap's experts select the best bullets, then load them to higher velocities while keeping safe pressures. Shoot small groups. Shoot farther. Use custom hunting loads in your handgun or rifle. Even fire 2 projectiles with one shot. DoubleTapAmmo.com. That's DoubleTapAmmo.com.
If you carry a gun, you need training. Your concealed carry class was definitely not training. But time, money, and obligations keep you from spending days at a shooting school. The trusted folks at Gun Talk can help. Concealed Carry 1, our DVD featuring the VADA Group, covers what gun, what holster, how to carry, where to wear your gun, and much more. Visit shopguntalk.com. That's shopguntalk.com. Look, this really is life and death. Learn how to stay aware, how to get away, and how to fight if you must. At shopguntalk.com, you can get the 2 DVD set, including Fighting with the 1911 with Tiger McKee. No matter what gun you carry, this vital training info can save your life. Learn the draw, the stance, reloading, vital gear from Gun Talk. That's shopguntalk.com. shopguntalk.com.
The Smith & Wesson Bodyguards. Carry more comfortably, walk more confidently. When it comes to personal protection, nothing beats a Bodyguard. Choose the lightweight, compact, and concealable Bodyguard 380 pistol or the Bodyguard 38 revolver, both with a built-in laser sight. The Smith & Wesson Bodyguards. Carry more comfortably, walk more confidently.
Sign up for our Gun Talk newsletter and join the Truth Squad at www.guntalk.com. Now, back to Gun Talk with Tom Gresham.
All righty, remember first time that Barack Obama ran for election as president of the United States, and I kept saying, this is a bad deal. This is a guy who kept saying he wants to fundamentally change America. Well, he's done a lot of that. But I got so much pushback, which was interesting, from a lot of gun owners who said, it's not a big deal, Tom. It doesn't really matter who's in the White House. There's nothing he can do as long as Congress doesn't vote for it. He can't pass any gun control laws by himself. And I kept trying to explain the importance. For one, of course, you have the Supreme Court. He's put 2 people on the Supreme Court. We just got a really bad decision out of them this past week where they said that it's a straw purchase, an illegal straw purchase for you to buy a gun for someone who is not prohibited to own a gun. Let me say that again because there's a lot of negatives in there. They're saying that it is a crime for you to buy a gun at a gun store for someone else, even though that person is not prohibited. Certainly we know it's against the law to buy a gun for someone who can't own a gun for himself or herself. But it's against the law, according to them, to buy a gun for someone who can own a gun. Their rationale was not that Congress passed that law. Their rationale was, this the Supreme Court, with the Obama selections on it, their rationale is that the government needs to be able to track guns. The government needs to be able to track gun owners. And if you're buying a gun for someone else, then we're not going to be able to track that. There's nothing in the law about this. Completely, totally made up law by the Supreme Court. Nothing in the law says this. And yet they've codified it and made it a law. Now we're being told that that doesn't mean you can't buy a gun as a gift for someone, but I'm not sure how that works. But toward that end, this whole Obama can't do anything concept. Have you heard of Operation Choke Point? Operation Choke Point is an effort by the Attorney General, basically, Eric Holder, to put gun stores out of business. The idea is very simple. All businesses need access to credit. All businesses need access to credit card sales if you're a retail business. Operation Choke Point identifies certain businesses and industries as high risk. Pornography is high risk. And in that category, they put gun stores. Well, you say, well, so what? Well, here's so what. Banks have become so highly regulated and so risk averse. They are so afraid of the federal government. If anything goes wrong there, the government's going to come in and say, you are doing business with high-risk banks. You're all going to jail. And that's what happens. So banks, big credit card companies, local banks, are pulling credit and credit card services away from guns and gun stores and businesses that sell firearms and firearms-related products. That is a result of Operation Choke Point, something that did not have to go through Congress. For those who didn't quite understand what I was talking about, maybe you start to get it a little bit now. Now, possibly a little bit of light out there. Senator Rand Paul just filed an amendment to the Science, Justice, Commerce Appropriations Bill, which will cut off Obama's efforts to shut down gun stores by drying up their credit. Yep, it's Amendment 3292 to H.R. 4660, but it's just an idea to just explain to you how important this is. Elections have consequences. By the way, on that topic, we have a midterm election coming up in a few months. It'll be here before you know it. Are you positive? Are you certain that you are registered to vote? You would be shocked how many NRA members, how many gun owners are not even registered to vote. And you know what I'm going to say. If you're not registered, if you don't vote, and you start complaining about what happens, I'm just going to say, shut up. Shut the heck up. So if you don't care enough to get registered and you don't care enough to go to the polls and vote, then you don't have a say. You had your say and you gave it away. Let's talk to James on line 3 in San Antonio, Texas. Hey, James.
Yes, sir. How are you doing?
I'm good. You building a rifle?
Yes, sir. I'm actually building it's going to be a target rifle. I actually bought a 308. It's a Remington Model 700 tactical, the SPS, with the 20-inch bull barrel on it. Right. But I just had a question about optics, which direction to go. I've looked at several brands. I really fell in love with the Trigicon. I can't remember the model number, but I think it's a 5x24 or 6x24.
Okay.
I was just going to get your opinion and see what you think.
Well, I think that they make excellent scopes. I love the AccuPoint line. That's the one you're talking about there. I love the lighted reticle. The key here for your kind of use is you need a good scope. You need to spend good dollars, and you are if you're getting the AccuPoint. It's a good scope. You're just not going to get the kind of scope you're looking for $300. You need something that's absolutely repeatable. And it also has to have target turrets so you can adjust them and you can make the kind of adjustments. I don't think you can go wrong there. There are a number of good scopes. When you start getting above $1,000, you get into some real high-priced stuff, and that's the area that you're already working in, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Have you used one of those, or do you know anybody else who has one of those scopes? Do you have a chance possibly to take a look at one?
I do. Well, not the exact model I was looking at. I've seen the AccuPoints in a 3x9 magnification, but not in the higher magnification. And that's really what turned me on to them. I just loved them. They're everything that I want, and also it's something that if at some point I wanted to, I could also put on a hunting rifle. It's rugged enough to where I could take it around and do everything I want to do with it. It's not going to be limited to just one gun. That was the main thing.
All right. Well, I don't think you're going to go wrong there. I'm glad to hear that you're looking in that area, because if you had said you're looking around at the $300 level, I was going to say, man, we got to talk, because you really need you need good optics. In fact, a lot of people say your optics ought to cost close to as much as, if not more than, your rifle. And so I'm glad you're there. You're going to do well. Just buy it. Don't look back. Don't have any buyer's remorse. And tell you what, do me a favor. After you get the gun and the scope and you get it sighted in, email us a picture of a group from your gun, tom@guntalk.com. We'd love to have that, okay?
I will. And also, I have an update for you. I called a couple months back, and I talked to you about a Timney trigger for my drop-in trigger for my 6.8 AR-15. I called Timney and talked to them and asked what they recommended to do, and they actually recommended me buy the AR-10 trigger drop-in. That AR-10 trigger of theirs is fabulous. I apologize. You hear the music. We're up against it, and I ran you right into the break, but I'm glad we got that in. Yeah, Timney makes good triggers. I love their AR triggers. 866-TALK-GUN.
Have you taken your family, friends, and kids shooting lately? You're listening to Tom Gresham's Gun Talk, and we'll be right back. Want to be a guest on the show? Drop us a line at info@guntalk.com. You're listening to Gun Talk with Tom Gresham.
All right. You know what? People are really waking up to the fact that we can and we must speak up every time we run into anti-gun sentiment, anti-gun policies everywhere. Another big shout out and attaboy to a student, Andrew Lampart. Now, he was doing a study. He was doing a report for school, and Andrew discovered that his school, where is this in? This is Connecticut. Says his school, the website is blocking access to the NRA and the Second Amendment Foundation websites. They've got a filter on there. Now, students can go to the Bloomberg groups, the Mayors Against Illegal Guns, the Moms Demand Action, the Everytown for Gun Safety. They can go to all the gun ban groups. But here's the question. Why are you blocking gun rights groups? So this student goes to the principal. The principal says, you need to speak to the superintendent of schools. He goes and talks to the superintendent, says, well, we'll look into it. After a week with nothing going on, he said, that's not good enough. Went back, took it to the school board. Fox News picks up on it. Then it starts to pick up steam. And then the principal and the superintendent say, well, you know what, we're going to look into the provider, our contractor, and get a report from them on how they filter things. Whoa, no. So Alan Gottlieb at the Second Amendment Foundation says that's not good enough because you're still denying students their constitutional rights, First Amendment rights, as well as other access. I mean, basically, this is just censorship. So here's the deal. Alan says, we're just going to serve notice on you. If you don't get this fixed, we're going to sue you. It's really going to be as simple as that. We're going to pick up this student as a client, and we're going to sue you, okay? So that's where we are. But a great big gun talk shout-out and attaboy to Andrew Lampart, who saw what was going on and didn't just shrug and say, oh, well, you know, that's the way it is. The school's blocking it. He spoke up. We're all encouraged to do exactly the same thing. Let's talk to Justin on line 2. He's in Illinois. Hey, Justin.
How you doing, sir?
I'm good.
Well, I am actually, I can actually honestly say I believe I'm doing much better than you.
All right, talk to me.
I got my concealed carry license in the mail yesterday, and I've been out and about today, and, you know, following laws and everything else, and I have noticed that my inside the waistband hybrid holster, I called you in the past with some asking some advice about working with the new rig and whatnot, and the advice you gave me worked beautiful. Make sure you put my because I'm having some issues with my gun, pulling my pants down, and you mentioned about bringing the holster to about 4 o'clock instead of 3 o'clock. And that worked great. But I've come across another issue today, and my holster is squeaky like crazy. And I'm walking through Farmer Home today, and picking up some different items, and I'm watching everybody. I'm thinking everybody can see me and whatnot, but
sure.
It's this thing is loud. I mean, it's that's all I hear. I don't even hear my boots. All I hear is just the squeaking of the leather.
Oh boy!
And I have some ballistol. I know it's supposed to be good on leather, on wood, good gun cleaner. But I did. It's a horsehide as well. It's horsehide. The leather is so.
Right.
I don't know if I don't know exactly if I should use saddle soap, maybe the ballistol just a little bit, or what.
Well, if you take the holster off, I'm sure you've done this, and then just kind of move it around and try to isolate exactly where's the squeak coming from. Is it squeaking where the Kydex connects to the leather? Is that what's going on?
Well, I can kind of feel it just as I move around a little bit, and it almost feels like it's coming from not the area that is supported by my belt, but just below, almost like where my muzzle and the gun, where the slide might be rubbing just a little bit. And I didn't know if because it's been at least a year since I've used it, because my when I had my non-resident and it was active, but that's been about a year.
Right.
So and I wasn't carrying in Illinois, but when I went out of state, I carried it, and there was a short term there where we're out of state frequently, and I never remembered noticing it. And I don't know if it's just dried out.
Probably.
And maybe that's the cause of it, but like I said, I didn't want a chance ruining the holster and by putting any ballistol on it.
I'm guessing that it's just dried out. I would use some kind of saddle soap or leather oil, ballistol, something. I would be careful about putting it on the inside where it, of course, goes against you, because you can end up with stain on you. I would probably put all this on, and then once it's on, really wipe it down as well as you can to try to get it off. And, of course, the other issue is if it is on the outside. Oh, I'm just getting a note here. Mother's Leather Cleaner. It's an automotive. Works great for this. Get it in your car stores, Napa, those kind of places. The other thing I would be a little bit concerned about was if you put too much grease, oil, whatever on there, then it could get on your shirt and on your pants. And you surely don't want anything like bleeding through on light-colored chinos, something like that.
Oh, yeah. So, and also from your, I appreciate the info, but something else from your shout out to that young man in high school. It reminded me that I was hoping to get a hold of you about a month ago. We the company I work for, I'm not going to mention their name or anything, but we just got bought out by another mother company, and I work in a machine shop. And the new owner was walking through the shop, and we have, from our previous owner, was a no firearms on the premises policy across the board, no questions asked.
Okay.
And I know our state law allows us to lock it up in the vehicle if the firearm's not permitted. Mm-hmm. Well, I figured with the new owner going through, why not give this a shot? And I think I might have gotten my company to change their policy.
Really? What'd you do?
Well, the new president of our mother company was walking through, and I explained to him, you're not just affecting us here at work, but you are affecting us outside in our, from home to work and from work to home.
Right.
And, I said, I don't want us to be able to bring him in, nothing else like that, but I just want to be able us to follow state law and be able to put him in the parking lot locked up. And he's an owner out of New York State, not New York City. Mm-hmm. And he said he never even thought about it, but he's definitely going to look into it. And he seemed like he's going to be possibly changing the policy for us.
Outstanding. That sounds great. Well, good for you for taking the opportunity to jump in there and bring up the subject. And look, give me a call back once you have treated that. When you get the squeak out of it, call me and let me know how that works out for you, because I guarantee you, this may be the first call we've ever gotten about a noisy holster, but I bet it's not the first time it's ever happened to somebody, and this way we'll find out what actually works. Listen, I appreciate the call very much. 866-TALK-GUN, 866-TALK-GUN.
Now they're offering an even sweeter deal for Gun Talk listeners. At LibertySafe.com, click on the Fat Boy Safe and type in Tom. Liberty will give you up to $250 off your purchase. Protect the things you value most. LibertySafe.com, click the Fat Boy Safe, promo code Tom, save up to $250. That's LibertySafe.com. LibertySafe.com.
The Ruger American Rimfire Rifle combines features of the Ruger American Rifle and innovations of the 1022 Rimfire Rifle to appeal to all bolt-action enthusiasts. It features a modular stock system that provides comb height options for scope or iron sight use, a power bedding integral bedding block system for outstanding accuracy, a Ruger Marksman adjustable trigger, and a 1022-style rotary magazine for reliable feeding. The Ruger American Rimfire Rifle, another rugged, reliable firearm from Ruger.
If you're looking for a safe and trusted way to sell your firearms, look no further than Dury's Gun Shop. I trusted them to sell my dad's collection. They built their business for over 50 years on honesty and customer service. Dury's Guns will buy any size collection or estate, none too big or too small. Selling your firearms to Dury's Guns is easy. Go with the pros. I trust Dury's Guns. DurysGuns.com.
The .45 Auto, also known as the 1911, is the standard other defensive pistols are measured against. No matter what pistol you carry, techniques developed around the 1911 are vital. You know you need training, and you know your concealed carry class definitely was not training. Now Gun Talk presents an exciting DVD, Fighting with the 1911 with Tiger McKee. Tiger's unique training style will have you drawing, moving, shooting, and running your gun better, no matter what style pistol you prefer. At ShopGunTalk.com, you can order our DVDs of Tiger's instruction. ShopGunTalk.com also has a 2-DVD set, including Concealed Carry 1. Get both for the information you know you need. This really is life and death. ShopGunTalk.com has DVDs, books, and other essential gear. ShopGunTalk.com. That's ShopGunTalk.com.
Tired of overpaying for one concealed carry holster after another that is flimsy, hard to hide, or just plain uncomfortable? At Alien Gear Holsters, less than $30 gets you a professional quality holster that's super stealthy and ultra comfortable. Every Alien Gear holster is backed by a forever warranty, a 30-day test drive, and free shell trades for life in case you buy a different gun. AlienGearHolsters.com. AlienGearHolsters.com.
Thanks for being one of the 100 million gun owners in America who support Tom Gresham's Gun Talk. Even if you don't want to be on the air, you can still email Tom with your questions or concerns at tom@guntalk.com. Now, back to Gun Talk.
All right, welcome back to Gun Talk. You can shoot me an email, tom@guntalk.com. All right, let's go to line 4. Kay is in Toledo, Ohio. Hey, Kay.
Hi, how are you?
I am good. What you doing?
Well, I'm getting ready to also take a CMP SAFS pistol course at Camp Berry next month.
Oh, okay.
And for my birthday is also next month, and my husband is going to purchase me a pistol.
Wonderful.
I'm really just looking for target at this point. That's all I feel comfortable with at this point. But
Right.
I've got it kind of narrowed down to 4.2 seriously, and I was kind of wanting your opinion on the guns. Okay.
What are you looking at?
I'm looking at a Ruger Mark III competition, and a Ruger SR22,
Mm-hmm.
and a Browning Buckmark Camper.
Okay. For what you're talking about, I'm going to recommend the Ruger Mark III competition pistol. Because you're going to be over at Camp Perry, you're going to be shooting. That is strictly a target type pistol. Has a great trigger, has a nice long heavy barrel. It's going to hang on target well. It's made like an anvil. The thing is so solid. And you will have it, if you take care of it, you should have it the rest of your life. And then, as many people as you want to hand it down to. I mean, the thing will last forever.
Okay. I would also like to ask you your opinion on the SIG Mosquito. I've been reading some stuff on it, but I'm really torn about even trying that at all.
Have you been able to get your hands on one?
I've held one, but no one's had any ammunition for me to try it out at the gun ranges.
Got to bring your own ammo. That's kind of sad, isn't it?
Well, they said, they're saying it's ammo specific, or it seems to be. And I'm a little leery of looking any more into it. I've heard great reviews. People who've used it, got it past a certain point, really like it. But
it is a great pistol. It is all of that. I guess the question is, when you say target shooting, do you mean like actual competitive target shooting or just recreational shooting at targets?
Well, I'm just getting started, so it could turn into something more than that. Okay. I'm very interested in it, and so...
Because what you have is two very different pistols.
Yeah.
With the Mosquito and the Ruger. You've got different styles, different looks, different trigger styles. I would say, if you've had a chance to handle the Mosquito in the gun store, try the trigger pull, work it, just shoot it without any ammo in it. See how it fits your hand, and then do exactly the same thing with the Ruger. Because they are so very different. It's almost like saying, I'm either going to get a pickup truck or a smart car. And you're going, wow. I mean, they're so different. It's and there's no right or wrong between it. It's just which is going to work for you. I mean, both of them are great at what they do, but they are very different guns.
I like the weight of the Ruger.
Yeah.
That seems to be able to, I seem to be able to handle that more steady, looking at target.
Right. And I think my impression is that the Mosquito would be perfect if you were saying, okay, I want to get a 22 to use to kind of get me up to speed because I may want to get a self-defense gun at some point, and the Mosquito would be a great way to go for that. But if you're saying, I just want to have a gun for shooting targets and having fun at the range and maybe competition, I'm going to steer you back toward the Ruger. I think go with your instinct. That's the one it sounds like you want. And I will tell you, every one of us, either in guns or other things, and you've done it too, we have talked ourselves out of buying the thing we really wanted and got something else. And later on, we keep thinking, why didn't I get the one I wanted? That's what I wanted in the first place.
Yeah, that is really the way I'm kind of leaning, but I would, just wanted another opinion on it.
You'll be fine. You will not be making a mistake going with the Ruger. You'll love it. I have a couple of those Ruger semi-autos, and they are just delightful. The other thing I would say, when you get your gun, go ahead and get yourself 2 or 3 extra magazines beyond what comes with the pistol, because that will make shooting so much more fun. And at the range, you won't have to be always coming back and loading magazines. You can load several up and then go out and shoot some. Yeah, you're not going to go wrong with that. 866-TALK-GUN. What gun are you thinking about buying? Which one did you recently buy?
You don't have to agree with Tom to participate in the show. Call now with any of your concerns about guns, gun rights, or particular firearms, or suggestions for your shooting activity or personal protection. 1-866-825-5486. Gun Talk is coming right back.
All right, let's talk about ballistics and software and operating systems. Ben's with us on line 1 out of Oakland. I believe that's Oakland. Hey, Ben, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. How about yourself?
I'm good. So what you looking for?
Well, I am looking for ballistic software that is compatible with Windows 8.1 that probably should not be brand specific, if you know what I mean.
Right. Here's the problem. There's nothing, including nobody, who is compatible with Windows 8.1. It's such a piece of junk. No, it's, you know, hey, look, I went Apple a long time ago, so when you say Windows, I just want to run out of the room. But I get it. Okay, yeah, there are some out there. What have you done so far to look for it, I guess is the first question.
Well, I do have an email into Sierra, and I did do a live chat earlier today with one of the experts at Brownells.
Okay.
And so far the only thing we've come up with is if we can use like the Sierra program in a compatibility mode.
Because you have to use it like it's an earlier version of Windows, is that the thing?
Yeah.
Well, that's because, again, nothing's compatible with Windows 8. So, you know, it's like software light or something. If there's some way to run Windows XP or even Windows 7, there are a lot of ballistic programs out there for that. Or buy a Mac.
I just bought this one. I'm afraid I can't do that.
I'm so sorry. Is it too late to take it back?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. You know that Macs will run Windows faster than Windows machines will.
Yeah, but the thing about it is I couldn't afford a Mac either.
Yeah, I hear you. So, well, the other thing you can do is just obviously do a Google search and see what pops up that way. That's, you know, how we do a lot of stuff. I'm getting notes here. VMware is the emulation virtualization software. Yeah, but that's for running the Windows on a Mac. I get that. So, but maybe, you know, check out emulation. Do a little Googling for emulation programs for your Windows 8. And, man, we just bought a couple of computers for the office, and I had to get Windows, and I did everything I could to try to not get Windows 8 on them. It's just such junk. I mean, I feel for you, and I'm sorry, but, man, when you're trying to build something on top of that, you would actually be better off, very likely be better off doing it on your cell phone, as weird as that sounds. You may be able to find an app that works on your cell phone better than what you can get for this.
My cell phone is not app compatible.
Okay. Well,
it's an old flip phone. I don't use it that much.
Oh, okay. Is it like one of those great big bricks, you know, Red Fox Leader? It looks like a World War II walkie-talkie. I love those. I wish you luck with it, but I don't think I can help you, Ben. I you know, as you can tell, I am not a Windows fan. I'm not a Windows hater. I'm ambivalent about it. So anyway, Jake's in Baton Rouge on 3. Hey, Jake, talk to me.
Hey, Tom. How you doing today, man?
I'm good. What's going on in Red Stick?
Same old. You know, Mayor.
I lost you there. I don't know where you went. What happened?
Can you hear me now?
I got you, but we're running out of time fast. You got 30 seconds. Go.
Well, I was just wanting to say something about the mayors against gun violence, guys. Mayor here in East Baton Rouge Parish, Mayor Holden, has handed down a mandate to the Planning and Zoning Commission stating that anybody that is trying to get copies of their zoning for the purposes of getting a home-based FFL, they're not to issue the papers. And it's making it really hard for some of these small business owners to do anything out of their home.
All right, it's time for you to get together with others, go to the city council, and get it fixed. They have to run for election, and you know what? You have votes, so do something about it.
No black helicopters here, just the facts about gun rights and gun ownership. This is Gun Talk.